spot I can fish. It's still frozen, but I got more access here than I do at the other spot. And I actually see some half-dead shad swimming around, so can't beat that. I'll go ahead and set this up here, get some rods casted out. If anybody comes in, let me know if you can hear me. I think I figured out what was wrong with my mic. Yep, ground's pretty solid. But if there's a dead shad in the area, I'll throw some out there with it. Yeah, there's literally a couple shad right here. I don't even know if you can see over here. I may not be able to get all the rods in camera view this time, but if that means I can catch a fish, we'll do that. I can't remember what all I did bring for bait. But yeah, there's literally shad everywhere now that I look at it. All this talk about a shad kill, and this is the only place I've actually seen them. Oh, good morning. I'm fishing a half-frozen lake this morning. See? Alright, I'm gonna get some baits thrown out here. Bear with me. Let me know if you can hear me. That'd be pretty cool. We got some bass, some shad, and a shell cracker, I think. Maybe they don't want shad. Maybe they're full of shad. I'll give them something else if they want. You think I should throw big baits or small baits? And when I say big baits, I just mean like a whole fish. Or do you think I should use a small piece of cut bait? Yeah, the other way to get into this place is gated off. Can y'all hear me? Awesome. What you doing, Possum? Yeah, let me know if you can hear me, man. I'll cut this shell cracker in half. Use the headpiece. But I guess I'm gonna have to throw out on the ice and then let it drop from there. That way I can get the furthest, or get it out there the furthest. Old trusty three-way rig. Yeah, I guess I'll throw it out on the ice and then let it fall. Oh no, I knocked my bait off. Well, that ain't gonna work. That was a good headpiece too. Freshly cut. I don't know, maybe I'll throw it a little gentler this time. It just bounced right off her. Guess I'm using the body section. Making a mess, and I ain't even got started yet. Well, I guess I did get started. Making a mess. Alright, maybe I'll put some shad on here. I got a bunch more than I do anything else. I mean, if these fish are eating frozen bait anyways, odds should be in my favor if I can keep the bait on the hook. Oh, shad ball. And I'm gonna have to sit here and look at my freaking white bass head over there on the ice all day. I'll try to gently toss it, I guess. Oh, that was good. I hit the edge of the ice. Can't beat that. Well, we got one bait out. I'll put some bells on them after I get them all casted out here. Huh. I guess I'll put shad on this one too. Another big old shad ball. Let me know in chat if you was a catfish. Would you eat this? Oh, we got 4 people in here. Let me see who's in chat. I don't know. Live chat. Let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of people. Burrito, catfish lady. We got possum. Jersey. Good morning, all you wonderful people. Yeah, I never thought I'd be ice fishing today. I'm gonna go throw this one behind the camera. That didn't work. I hit the ice. I got 1 shad left, man. On the hook, that is. I got about 50 in this bag. I didn't think I'd be chumming this episode, but looks like I am. The birds will thank me later. Yeah, I didn't think this spot would be frozen, for one. I might just pitch this one over here. Since we're right here, cross your fingers and hope I don't hit the ice again. Oh, that was close. Some would call that perfection. Yeah, it ain't super, super deep, but there's water here. Oh, 5 people in here. Let's see. Possum can hear me. That's good. Yeah, it's supposed to rain here later, Possum. Yeah, hopefully it does melt the ice. That'd be pretty good. Bring in the tune. Oh, I guess I'm gonna do piece of bass on this, just to have some variety. I wrapped this one too good. I might just cut the tail off this. I guess that works. I've seen some really good fish come out of here. Not saying I'm going to catch one. It'd be real nice. But if I hooked into one here this shallow, that'd be interesting. Because I'm pretty sure all my drags are pretty tight anyways. Use the other piece of this shell cracker. I kept saying white bass, but it's a shell cracker. Does make me feel a little better about losing the head. At least it wasn't a white bass head. I'm gonna go yeet this one behind the camera. Oh, we got 8 people in here. Heck yeah. Maybe all y'all together is good luck. Get us a fish on camera today. That'd be pretty cool. Hit the edge of the ice. I think y'all can see what, 3 of the fishing poles? Y'all see 3 of them? No, 2 of them. Who all's in here hanging out? Well, thank y'all for hanging out in here. I'm gonna put some bells on these rods, that way I don't miss a bite if I do get one. I got 5-ounce sinkers on there. I don't think I needed those today. But I had intentions of being way over there, where a good cast is a long cast. But you gotta do what you gotta do. But my thought is, I highly doubt there's any catfish just like living back here. But if they know there's a bunch of dead shad back here, the main channel's just right around that bend. So maybe they'd come back here feeding. But they'd have to come across these 2 orange rods first, so I put shad on there. Here in a second, I'll show you some of these shad that's swimming around. Try not to get my feet wet. There was 2 or 3 cranes down here when I got here too, so normally they're pretty good at picking fishing spots. They probably knew it was frozen when they got here though. Or before they got here. This mud's soft. That over here is frozen. Alrighty. Y'all ready to see the spot? Hopefully I don't lose signal. See, I had intentions of fishing that bend out there, but it's frozen. So we're fishing this. See, you see that shad swimming there? Here's another one, which I think he's dead. There's one. Here's another one. Another one. There's one floating. There's quite a few down here, though. There's one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a golf ball. Here's a shad just about to die, I guess. Well, you know what they say. If there's fish in the video, it makes it a fishing video, right? I might be able to set up down here and y'all see everything. Maybe. Nah, probably not. Grumpy vet. Good morning, Mom. I'm out here trying to get me a catfish out of this half frozen lake out here. There's a bunch of dead shad floating around out there, so I got 2 rods out there with shad and 1 rod with bass and the other rod with shellcracker. Little variety. That's what we're shooting for today, or fishing for. I can't necessarily promise a fish, but I can promise better audio today. Finally got that figured out. Oh yeah, a lot less wind. Yeah, I figured out with the phone case that I got a waterproof phone case. And whenever I plug my headphone jack in to connect to this mic, it wasn't connecting all the way with the case on. So to use it, I got to take case off, which works now for bank fishing. But fishing on a boat, I'll probably have to find another waterproof phone case. Yeah, that wind was rough. I guess with this rain we got moving in later, I guess that's why it ain't so windy. Hopefully it'll be on the bite though. plastic Ziploc bag. Yeah, I've never seen this part frozen. Ever. This is some of the coldest weather we've had in a long time. Get out of the mud and sit on this rock. Yeah, normally the water is well, plumb up to right there. It's definitely low. Yeah, I might be able to Dremel the hole out a little bit. It's not a bad idea. Save me a couple dollars. See, this mic has the attachment where it can plug into your phone charger too, but it don't work on my phone for some reason. But it's better than nothing, so I'm not gonna complain. Finally figured out why it wasn't working. I'm just gonna keep trying different spots until I finally figure out where they are. Yeah, I figured that out. 'Yeah, I can't believe it was right at like 60 degrees yesterday for a high. But I guess the sun don't hit it back here that much. Keep waiting to see like a school of shad, but they're all probably stunned. This cold water making an easy meal for these fish. They don't know it's my job to do that. 7 people in here. 6 thumbs up. Thank you guys. Texas Phantom Fishing. New here, just subscribed. View looks good. Thank you, buddy. We're out here trying to get some catfish. That is the plan. Yeah, I heard we had a shad kill like a week ago, but all the places I fished, I haven't seen any dead shad until here. So hopefully we catch something today. And thank you for subscribing. Awesome. It's always what we wish. Yep. I've heard stories of people catching so many fish I didn't want to catch no more. I ain't never had that problem. So it's a good problem to have, though. But yeah, since there's shad out here, I got 2 rods with shad, 1 rod with bass, and 1 rod with what was it? Shell cracker. I keep calling it the wrong thing. At least I ain't got to worry about boat traffic back here. That's one positive. It's Cherokee Lake. This is a creek that runs off the old river channel. See, I had intentions of fishing that bend back there, but it's more frozen than the rest of this is. Like I was saying, the water's really low. It's normally plumb up to that tree line right there. But yeah, I was saying I was gonna do more live fishing this year. So far, I've done that. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, but the old phone I had didn't get a lot of signal in a lot of places this phone does. Yeah, it's nice and quiet. That's for sure. It's hard to find a spot out here in the summertime, especially a quiet one. Thank you, man. Appreciate you coming in. Get me a drink of water. I heard a bell, or maybe it was my pants jiggling. Could have swore I heard a bell. I'm just tripping, I guess. What's that stuff you hang up around the holidays, like Christmas and stuff? Mistletoe. These trees are full of them. See, I was thinking maybe all the shad were deep is why I wasn't seeing any, but This ain't super deep, and they're in here. Not no monster shad, but let's see. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah, me and an old friend of mine, when we first started catfishing, we got into catfish tournaments, and it was right in the middle of summer, so they were doing 12-hour long catfish tournaments. And me and him worked at the same place, and sometimes we'd have to work overtime or 6 days a week. We'd go out fish these 12-hour tournaments, and when you work that long and sit down and get comfortable, it's real easy to fall asleep. And that's the whole reason why we started getting the bells and using the bells, so we didn't miss a fish. But after the tournaments, we'd get home, finally try to get some rest, and just hear something wake you up dead out of your sleep, think you heard a bell. Jump out of bed looking for a fishing pole. But yeah, I forgot them in my pocket, or my kids stick one on my jacket or something. Yeah, I just wonder if this whole creek wasn't frozen with all that weather we had. We had highs in the 20s and 30s in the day, and single digits and below zero at night. I hit the wrong button. I agree with you 100%, Jersey. See, normally when it's not cold out here, I love taking the wife and kids fishing. And normally, we like to make something to eat and sit and listen to music and, just sit there and have a good time. So if it wasn't for them bells or rip and drag when them big fish want to hit, I probably wouldn't catch anything. Thank God for circle hooks. Yep, that too. Like I was saying, me and my buddy, when we first started working all the time, still fishing, we were bank fishing one night, and he was sitting there watching his fishing pole and just got tired and finally nodded off there. And we were fishing a bank, like real steep, a lot steeper than this one. And we had probably about 8 rods out. We ain't got a rod limit here in Tennessee, so We was just sitting there. Next thing I know, I look over and there goes his rod bouncing down the bank. But he heard it too, and he woke up and he dove down the bank and grabbed that rod. The only thing that was sticking out of the water was about this much of the handle, and he grabbed it and reeled it in. And it was like a 14-pound flathead. Nice little flathead. Real nice little flathead. But yeah, definitely had some fun times. Well, that ain't no good. Well, as long as you won the tournament, I guess that's all that matters. But once again, I appreciate all y'all hanging out with me this morning. I keep looking to see a deer or something move in the woods. But yeah, if you notice, I like camouflage. You told everybody your partner punched you. That's funny. But yeah, I like wearing camouflage. It's my favorite color. Uh, I used to do a lot of bank fishing down here. And there's a guy that rides like a little ATV, older guy. I guess he's retired. He likes to bass fish down here. But I pulled up one day and in my SUV and was unloading rods. And he pulled up and he's like, "Hey man, you know you can't hunt down here, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What makes you think I'm down here hunting?" And he's like, "Well, them clothes you got on." I was like, "Well, man, I hate to break it to you, but I brought all these fishing poles so I could go fishing, not hunting." And he was like, "Oh, okay. I was just letting you know." It's like, okay. I've never went deer hunting or hunting of any kind with a fishing pole before. Now, there's probably times I should have caught fish while I was hunting or something. I think it's comfortable, if that makes sense. Like the hunting pants and hunting clothes. Most of them are water resistant too, so that helps with throwing a cast net and being out in the elements. I don't get to hunt as much as I used to. Most of the places I did hunt, either people sold the land or people passed away or they closed access off. Do 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 do. See, I always thought this spot would be a real good place for flatheads. Not necessarily when it's half frozen over, but there's a bunch of big rock piles and uh, underwater timber. It's pretty shallow back in this cove. but I've never caught a flathead out of here. Caught blues and channels. I used to go camping here. Huh. Trying to think of exactly what color you're talking about. Hmm. But yeah, I used to come camping here before I ever started fishing this spot. But I'd always bring a fishing pole and throw out some chicken livers and some worms and stuff everybody uses before they actually know anything about fishing. And I remember we camped here one time for like 3 days and caught two channel cats, and I was like, "Oh no, that ain't good." And fished here a couple times on and off over the years. And one night I caught a blue that was probably about 20 pounds and like three channel cats. And then one morning I actually fell asleep bank fishing here and woke up to lines all over the place. And I had slack in them and everything. And reeled one of them in, and one had like a almost 30-pound blue on there. It's always good to wake up to a big old fish like that. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Old Army uniform. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, my dad, he was in the Army for 23 or 24 years. OD Green, yeah, okay. Used fancy words and threw me off. But yeah, my dad, he was in the Army for 23 or 24 years before he retired. So, yeah, I know all about the OD Green. I remember right before he got out, they came in with the new digital uniforms, and he absolutely hated them. Absolutely. Thank you guys for your service. Yeah, thank you both. Ugh. But yeah, he was not a fan of the new uniforms at all. I need to get him out here and do some fishing, but he ain't too much into fishing. But maybe if we could get him on some good fish, he would be. Let's see what percent my phone's on. 66%. Okay. Yeah, that first day I went live there, and at like a minute, or no, not a minute, an hour and 57 minutes, my phone went dead, and it was fully charged. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it myself. I remember all the old rain gear and the Gore-Tex stuff. I actually have some of the brown Army thick long johns on right now. Actually, the black thermal I got on is also Army issued. My dad gave me all that stuff, said he didn't want to look at it no more. And I completely understood. Yeah, I need to get me another one. I had one, and when I took the fishing trip to Wheeler the end of last year, it got rained on, and it still turns on, but it won't hold charge. So I'm just slowly getting everything back together. But if I get to come out and hang out with you guys for a couple hours while I fish, that is better than nothing. But definitely in the future, we'll be doing this a lot longer, especially when it gets warm and I get my boats going and start dragging planer boards. That's my big plan for warm weather. I never tried sea rations. I've ate boxes upon boxes of MREs though. Some of them are really good, and some of them are not really good. I always like the cheese and crackers that came with it, and the little bottle of Tabasco sauce, and the bubble gum. I'm still trying to think of the one I didn't like though. See, I would assume with him being in that long, he probably had those too. I just don't remember. Hmm. I'm trying to remember what that is. I should know it. But yeah, I remember my dad brought home a whole box one time, MREs, and I'm thinking it was like beef and I don't know, like a beef pasta or something like that. And I ate it, and oh, it made me sick, so sick. I never ate another one of those flavored again. And they'd come with coffee and I think tea, if I'm not mistaken. I was watching Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, a couple months ago, and he was talking about, I think it was in Russia, the Russian military put like a small thing of alcohol in their soldiers' MREs, which that don't surprise me none. It was either Russia or Germany, one of the two. I mean, obviously they ain't out there getting drunk or nothing, but I just thought it was interesting. Came with TP as well. Yep. Yeah, the beef sucked. But ain't there like a beef and burger or something like that? That's pretty good. Yeah, this spot's a little bit further away from my house than the other two spots I fished the past 2 days. A lot of the spots around my house are gated up and you can't even get in there right now. I guess you could park and walk forever, but I have to do that as it is to get to spots like this. I've tried most international rations. Yeah, I can't remember if he said Germany or Russia, but hmm, we'll go with Russia. We'll say it was vodka. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good question, Jersey. Heck yeah. What made them better, if you don't mind me asking? Just taste better, better quality, or the fact that it's old can rations, or all of the above? Tasted like actual food. The pineapple upside down cake was, oh goodness, it was on point, huh? I couldn't imagine opening an MRE and finding a pineapple upside down cake. You got my belly growling just talking about it. I wasn't even hungry until you said that. I want to try that now. Yeah. Y'all remember when who was it? I think it was Sandy Toes sent everybody the Vegemite, and everybody did the whole Vegemite challenge. It'd be kind of cool if we could do that with MREs from different countries or something. Might be a little expensive. Have to buy our own or something. Something. The MRE cakes aren't bad. They are made by Little Debbie. Huh? Okay. I didn't know that. You talking about the American ones or the British ones? American. Huh? I did not know that. Which, correct me if I'm wrong. Um, didn't like Little Debbie change all their stuff after COVID? Because I swear it tastes different, looks different. I think I've seen other people say it too. The Aussie meal rations came with Vegemite. Oh, no wonder they were mad all the time. Hmm, I didn't know that. Yeah, I actually have a friend that lives in Australia. I call him Aussie, but his name's Nathan. He was telling me about Vegemite before I heard it on here. He said it's actually really good if you eat it on like buttered toast or something. Huh. I don't know. I still might stick with buttered toast with no Vegemite. Yeah. I didn't realize things were so different over there compared to here. You know, on TV, you see stuff about Australia and how beautiful it is and all this other stuff. And then you take the time to think about literally everything over there can kill you. And then, from my understanding, to own a firearm in Australia, um, you have to own like so many hundreds of acres of property or be in a gun club. And apparently, that is like a whole lot easier said than done. But I always thought Aussie was like, I don't know, kind of a laid back version of America, but I was wrong. Huh. Bet you can hear me now. Don't they call them drop bears or something? Yeah, I was talking and I can't even remember what I was talking about now. I said words though. Oh, I was showing you the mud on my feet. Ah. And then I have to go get in my wife's car, drive home, and hope she don't kill me. Well, didn't you go look at a car yesterday for work? But thank you for hanging out, regardless. I wish I got to do cool stuff like that for work. Yeah, you would think sitting in the woods like this, you'd hear some squirrels or deer rustling around or something. But you know what the crazy part is about fishing with shad? Just about everything eats shad. Bass eat shad, drum eat shad, all catfish eat shad. Uh, yeah, just about anything that swims in this body of water eats shad, except other shad, probably. So I just wonder, like, how come I never catch anything else? Which I have in the past. I've caught striper by accident. Uh, Me and my buddy that I was talking about earlier, he caught a 7 pound largemouth one night on a live bluegill in a catfish tournament. That was pretty funny. That was a surprise. But I just wonder why it doesn't happen more often. I've even seen carp eat shad, and I know there's big carp in here. I don't think they can fit that 12-aught circle hook in their mouth, but they could try. Thought I heard a bell again. Hmm. Well, y'all watch the rods for just a moment. I'm gonna walk over here and look at something. Y'all should still be able to hear me, though. See how far this mic goes. There's a bunch more dead shad over here. Well, am I getting any bite, guys? Or bites, guys? Yeah, there's a bunch of shad in here. That's why I walked down here. It's supposed to be like 56 later today. I don't see anything feeding on these shad, though. It's another thing I was looking at. Because normally you'll have other fish swim around and pick up the shad. But I'm not seeing any. Alright, I'm back. Chat's going crazy. See what's going on. Looking at a camper. So you've looked at a car, a truck, and a camper. Sounds like a pretty cool job. I wish I got to do that stuff at my job. They just try to tell me what to do all the time. They're like, "No, John, you can't leave. You can't go home. No, you can't have tomorrow off to go fishing." You know how people are. That's one way to look at it. But what if you had enough rods, Jersey? What would you do then? Enough, yeah. At some point, there has to be enough. I have catfishing rods, and then I have bait fishing rods. And bait fishing falls under anything but a catfish. Even sometimes a catfish ends up as bait. I'm like a woman with shoes. Well, I understand. Before I switched to Mad Cats, I probably had mm, you hear me again? No, just because I got this microphone to work does not mean I charged it. So it could be going dead. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It shut off for some reason. But yeah, before I switched to Mad Cats, I had like I don't know, probably 20 plus catfish rods. I sold them all. Because if I'm just using Mad Cats, I don't need a bunch of rods taking up space. So now I got 12 Mad Cats and 4 little ugly sticks that I catch bait with. But bait could be small channel cats or 5-pound bass or whatever's legal. And just about anything's legal in Tennessee. So we can use game fish, all kinds, as long as they meet creel limits and size. Haha. I do have another one though. Probably just told the same story again and nobody heard me. But once upon a time I had fishing poles and I sold them and bought other fishing poles that you see now. Ugh. And the cool part was, out of the 12 Mad Cats that I have, I only paid for 5 or 7 of them. Then I won the other ones. I won that one, actually, doing a local catfish tournament on this lake. And where did I win the other ones? Randy Carter with Minotaur Hooks, which is who I'm pro staff with. He posted on Facebook a couple years ago saying that he was looking for something. We'll say something. And that if anybody could find it for him and bring it to him at CatCon, that he would buy him 2 Mad Cat rods and like a bunch of other stuff. And he said whoever the first person was to bring him that, hand it to him at CatCon, was going to win the 2 rods and like a bunch of tackle and stuff. And it was me. I was the guy. And then Mikey D, who was with Minotaur at the time, he started a Facebook group and started this challenge on who could get the most people to join. And whoever won got 2 Mad Cat rods. And yeah, so I won 7 and bought 5. I know those St. Coy rods are expensive. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about switching to medium action, honestly. Yeah, I know they're expensive. I know they've been around for a long time. Definitely a quality product, nonetheless. But it's hard to beat yeah. That weekly $500 competition or the state record program. That was why I sold all my rods and went with Mad Cats. Not only do they bend and don't break, but you can make money off using them too. Well, see, before I switched to Mad Cats, I used Walmart rods, and I used the Berkeley Big Game, the Lou's Cat Daddies, and the Berkeley Fusion rods, and they're all medium heavy rods. But the Fusion rods were rated for like 1.5 ounces, and the Cat Daddy rods they were rated for like 2 or 3 ounces, and then the big games were rated for like 4 ounces. But I swear to you, I would put a 5 ounce sinker on every one of them and a hand sized bait and sling it out there, no problem, and catch fish all the time. But I think I need a lighter action because those rods were obviously fiberglass, not composite, and they're stiffer, which is good if you're consistently catching big fish all the time. But for somebody like me who enjoys catching channel cats or just small catfish in general, I feel like I would catch more fish with maybe even a medium or what you said, a medium light. Because I feel like it would be more closer to what I had before. Because in this lake, with there not being current constantly, I feel like some of these fish are lazy, man. Because there's been times I've reeled in rods after fishing for hours and not thinking I got a bite at all and have like a 2 or 3 pound catfish on there. Well, see, I say I have 12 Mad Cat rods, but really, me, my wife, and kids have 12. Because I have the two Orange Crush are mine, and then I have two Green Surge. They're both spinning. And then the two gold ones, Gold Rush, are my wife's. And then she has two Cotton Candies. And then my boys have two Micah Burkhart rods, two of the, what are they? The Rod of Steel, the Superman ones, and two of the Smash. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that they don't like Mad Cats because they're not stiff enough, but I don't fish heavy current constantly. I don't need 16 ounces to hold my baits down, you know. I went with medium heavy, and they are rated for 16 ounces, but I just figured, hey, I can throw bigger baits out there, maybe a little further, you know. And they are great rods. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like I made a wrong choice in the action of the rod that I chose. So I might sell some of mine soon and go with a lighter action. I was thinking of mediums, but maybe I need to go with a light or a medium light. Or get some of both and try them. I don't know. Because it would be nice to have a rod that handles big fish and you can still catch small fish on too. Yeah, we got blues, flatheads, and channels. And see, most places, like when you hear people talk about like fishing this lake or that lake or whatever, you rarely ever see them catch flatheads and blues together. But I've done it quite often, like in the same spot like this. Oh, you're good, man. But there's a video I posted a year or so ago where I doubled up on two nice fish. I think that's like the name of the video. But I caught a 36-pound blue and an 18-pound flathead, literally on like two rods that close together in the same little creek channel that I was fishing. I couldn't believe it. And there's another video of me catching a 40, 50-pound blue, and literally like seconds before that big blue hit, I caught a flathead that was like 3 or 4 pounds. And then after the big blue, I caught a flathead that was like 14 pounds and another catfish that was like 16 pounds. But I guess it's like a Tennessee thing. I see other dudes around, well, not around me, but in East Tennessee, fishing the Tennessee River that catch them like that. It was either last year or the year before. I was fishing Jody's flathead challenge, and it was colder in the year. It wasn't winter time yet. It was probably late fall, and it was so windy. I was sitting in the back of my Jeep and had my camera facing four rods that were in front of me, and then I had two rods out to the side that you couldn't see, and it was one of my wife's smash rods, and I had it in one of those takedown rod holders, and I had forgot whenever I put the hook back on the rod when I was done with it. I normally tighten the drag up all the way, that way it stays put and don't come loose. But I forgot to untighten the drag, so the drag was tightened all the way. And I was sitting there talking to Jody and Dustin, and I looked over. We were not fishing, obviously, but I had a glow stick on the end of my rod, and I looked over and did not see that glow stick at all. And I picked my head out of the Jeep and looked, and that rod was just buried. Like I was afraid that it was about to rip the rod holder out of the ground. And I remember I came on camera and I was like, "Hey guys, you want to see a big blue?" And they were like, "Yeah." And it was like I weighed it and it was like 36 pounds, I think. But it just takes a second for it to happen. But the whole point of telling that story was Like, I know those rods will handle a big fish, but sometimes you miss the little fish. And I don't like missing fish, period. But yeah, commercial fishing has definitely done a number on this body of water. I think it seems like every year it gets worse. But this is also like a really large lake. I think it's like 43, 43 miles long or something like that. What's up, Chris? What are you doing? We still fishing Sunday? Half of it's still frozen. Can you see that? Like from, where's my finger? From like there back to the bank is all ice. This whole part is. There's hardly any water in here. All right, man. Just let me know. I can tell you we had a shad kill though. I was showing them earlier that, yeah, yeah, I know. I was showing them there's probably like 50 shad floating over here, plus a bunch out in front of me just trying to flip flop around and ain't getting very far. Yeah, I seen you cleaned up the garage and cleaned up the boat. Got a bunch of stuff done there. Yeah, it's low, low down here, man. I'm trying to figure out if this is considered Mooresburg or Bean Station. Yeah, I had intentions of fishing back behind me there, but literally half of it's frozen. I didn't think I'd be ice fishing on Cherokee at all. Did y'all hear that? I just got a bite on the bass. It ain't keys in my pocket this time. The one rod I don't have on camera. I literally hit the edge of the ice and it like fell through it. If you can see that. That's the one that just got hit. Maybe I'm suspending it through the ice or something. But yeah, here's a bunch of shad just to confirm the shad kill. Not any big ones, a bunch of little ones. I'll sit down here and read your message. Well, you came in and we got a bite. I don't know if you should leave me yet, buddy. Oh. Let's see what she said. Back to work. Hope you catch a monster. If the lake is still frozen, I will just drive over there and we can hit the bank. Well, the two spots The spot I fished yesterday and the spot I fished before, neither one of them were frozen. Uh, I fished in Rogersville the first day, and it's shallow, but it's not frozen. And then yesterday I fished where I told you we should have fished last time, if you remember where that was. And it was muddy and wet and nasty, but it wasn't frozen. So if you wanted to come down, we could definitely find a spot. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day at work, if that's possible. You seem to enjoy your job, so it should be easy. But thanks for coming in and hanging out. But yeah, I'll message you whenever I get done fishing here and we'll talk about it more. Probably gonna give it another 15, 20 minutes, probably. I appreciate all y'all hanging out with me. What's up, J Dog? We're out here ice fishing for some catfish, man. In Tennessee, if you can believe it. All that you see, like over there, that's all ice. I did get a bite just a couple minutes ago, though. First one we've had all day. Probably just a dumb bass swam into my line or something. The ones you see here are mad cats, and on the two spinning rods behind my head there, I got the Akuma Avenger 8000 ABFs, and on the two bait casting rods, I got Akuma Classics. Yeah, yeah, I guess that's kind of obvious, ain't it? Oh, I have seen Stranger Things though. But yeah, we had a shad kill last week, and figured catfish got to get hungry at some point. Fished yesterday and the day before, but this is the only spot that I've actually seen dead shad. But I got half shad and a piece of shell cracker and a largemouth bass. The bass is what we just got the bite on. Probably the biggest piece of bait we got out there. I tried throwing a 5-ounce sinker through the ice, and that did not work. It just made a really weird sound. And I threw my bait off. What are you using for rod holders? I got takedown rod holders. The ground was so frozen yesterday, I bent one putting it in the ground, beating it with a hammer. Which I guess that happens when you beat things with a hammer. But ice fishing for catfish ain't normally on my agenda. My phone's still on 30%, so we'll fish for another 15-20 minutes. I'm not really a morning fisherman, to be honest with you. We're fishing in the cold. I like night fishing in the summertime when you gotta fist fight mosquitoes and wrestle water moccasins and stuff. I feel you, man. I feel you. I fished 3 days in a row now. Might even go fishing again in the morning. But yeah, the water's super low. That tree line behind me is normally where the water is. So we got freezing temperatures, low water, all the good stuff. And a shad kill last week, so there's frozen shad all over the place out there. But I'll be right back. Yep. Yeah, I'm just glad it ain't as windy as it was the past 2 days. Well, I just got a bite on this and then a bunch of slack. Y'all see that? I don't know if you can or not. Yeah, reel some of this slack up. Something moved it though, because it was right on the edge of that ice. Huh. I guess he just picked it up and dropped it. Hmm. I guess we'll sit here and watch it. It's the only piece of bass I got out there. It's the man shooting guns over. But yeah, that's got a 5 ounce sinker on it, so something picked it up and moved it towards me a couple feet. It'd be real nice if it just started ripping drag, wouldn't it? I just hope he didn't pull it off the hook. Or it. Try to see if y'all can see that line. There. Hmm. Excuse me. Well, what do you guys think? You think I should have left the slack in it or reeled it in like I did? Because I know your line has to be tight for a circle hook to work. Hmm. Do, 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 do. Would you look at that? I found a golf ball. And I found some mud. Or a bunch of it. I thought I seen another golf ball over here. And blood. Huh. I thought that was one. That's a shad. Hmm. I figured something would happen. Not off ball though. Not like I play golf or anything. I gained about 10 pounds of mud. Still got 5 people hanging out in here. Well, sadly, I'm probably about to call it. But I'll leave it running while I put the stuff up. Who knows? I might have a rod go down while I'm doing it. Nope. Just a bunch of dead shad. I don't know if you caught what I was saying earlier or not, though. But this is the only place I've been in the past 3 days that's frozen. Everywhere else I've been is just low and muddy and wet. But yeah, I'll holler at you whenever I get done fishing here, and we'll talk more about fishing. But I'm gonna start getting the stuff ready, and maybe we'll have a rod go down while I do it. I wonder if you can hear this sound through the microphone. It didn't really make it that sound. Yeah, it's frozen all the way to right there. You can see that. And it's only a couple feet deep. Well, that ain't how that's supposed to work. Oops. I have to sew that back when I get home. Can't be leaving them eyeballs on the hook. They get all crusty and stinky. Let's try not to break this one. Ta-da! My feet's getting heavy, y'all. Probably just 10 pounds of mud. Alright, one more to go. This is the one that got the bite. I guess he didn't want it. I don't see any marks on it. Alright, y'all, that's it. I've still got 3 people hanging out. 10 thumbs up. You guys are awesome. Oh, but once again, we gave it our best try. Oh, there was fish in the video. I didn't catch those fish. The ones I used for bait, though, I caught those. But the shad I was showing y'all, I guess that could be considered fish in a fishing video, right? I don't know. I'm just rambling on. I'm gonna go to the house, get me something to eat. Thank y'all once again for coming in and hanging out, and hopefully y'all come hang out again next time.